Jess on his right. Hey, hold up. Don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Waking Jake in the morning. Waking Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Woo! And welcome to the sexiest show in sports television and normal television on YouTube. Good morning, Bakers, and welcome to Wake and Jake. I am Jake, producer, big baby David Mendelson. He's been turning up the sex knob. Check that out. Got the TikTok pants. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, I've heard them referred to as the TikTok pants and just the Amazon pants. You get them on Amazon.
Okay.
I mean, there's like a million different versions of them.
Go check that out if you're trying to feel some type of way this Monday morning. We're I think we're going to get it during this episode. I think we're a couple subs away from 1,000 on the new channel, so thank you to everyone. And before we get into it, what'd you just laugh at? Because I think I was about to laugh at it.
Registered flex offender?
Yeah, I was just in the live chat right now. The pregame called me a registered flex offender, which...
If there is a live chat comment of the day...
You're pushing
early
boundaries
candidate.
with that, but I did flex, and I am back in the gym, so watch out. Did I rep 205 on the bench 2.5 times? Yeah. Dad's back. Speaking of back, BBD, golf is hot right now. And hey, I know some of you hear golf, and that's a word you don't want to touch. Golf's kind of not sexy for a lot of people. The golf was a lot of fun yesterday, and let me walk you through it. Let me Sherpa you into the golf world. Genesis Open, Tiger Woods' tournament. Don't know exactly how the logistics of that work, but whatever. This kid, Sam Burns, was leading the whole tournament. Whole damn tourney. And this is where golf is a sick sport. If you've watched a lot of golf, you knew that this was going to take a turn on Sam Burns. It does. He ends up not even really being a part of the story. So Sam Burns fades. Who comes up? Max Homa, one of the PGA's up-and-coming stars, a lot because of good golf, and he roasts people's swings on the internet. It's fun. It's fun. It's kind of the same thing over and over, but it's fun. We like players that interact. And Tony Finau, a fan favorite, who's also got this crazy winless drought going on right now for how good of a golfer he is. There's some crazy graphic of how many top tens and everybody wins but him. Anyways, BBD, Finau finished strong. It's Max Homa. He's left on the court. He hits a dagger of a shot, sticks it within like 3 feet. No one had been inside 8 feet on the approach all day to win the tournament, and it lips out. And it's if you've seen a putt lip out and it kind of defies science for a little bit, this was one of those. You would have liked to be a little more middle to win the tournament from 3 feet, but it's a tough one. So instead of winning the tournament, he now is going to a sudden death playoff with Tony Finau, who has this winningless drought going. And they do this hole. It's the par 4 10th. It's 300 yards, so these guys can drive the green, but it's obviously very tough. Max Homa, who just had a putt to win the tournament, hits his drive, and it goes butt to butt against a tree. His ball is touching a tree next to the green. He hits this miraculous chip shot. He puts a bunch of spin on it. He comes around, it spins up to the green. Finau's got a putt to win it, leaves it short. Next hole, Homa comes through, sticks it on the green. He gets the win. Very emotional press conference. Local LA guy in the tournaments around there. He was actually getting choked up, and it's one of those things that's like a legitimate story. His family used to go to this tournament, and it's like where he fell in love with golf. So it's really cool. It was a fun watch. I was watching on the couch with my sweet Jessica, and she was dialed into it. So golf can turn it on. I get it. It's slow. It's a nap. The first hour of the golf, get your nap in. But then there's some good stuff. So follow Max Homa online. Online? God, who says that? But it was a really good watch. So shout out to the golf. BBD, was that your first time seeing the putt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't know golf happened until you came in and said the golf was good.
Yeah.
It might be game of the night.
It was good. It was good. Yeah, man, it's golf has a little bit, and John Boy. Have you seen this John Boy guy?
Might be familiar.
He hit it on the nose a little bit that golf and baseball have a little bit of the, you're going to lose it during your early 20s, kind of college years, just because you don't have time to sit down. In college, you don't have time every Thursday night, 7 to 10, to watch a Yankees game. It's just not how it works.
If you're a freak.
If you're a freak, you could do it. You could do anything if you really want to do it. But a lot of baseball is going to lose a lot of people from end of high school to their early 20s. And I think golf is kind of a similar thing. Kids aren't going to get that excited about it. You have to kind of be built into it. But later in life, get into golf. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's on a good Sunday, it's relaxing, but it's also like, oh my God, that putt was worth $500K. So I don't know. If you're not a golf person, I'm not going to bully you, but go check it out. Next time there's a Sunday afternoon, you kind of don't know what to watch. There's a Pelicans Jazz game on, but
We're in this post
blowout.
Football, basketball doesn't really matter yet.
How about this? When the Masters comes around, watch the Sunday at the Masters. If you have a bad time, I won't bully you. That should be the golf rule. Every year, if you're
Give the Masters a go.
if you're a sports fan and you're not into golf, watch Sunday at the Masters, and if it does nothing for you, fine. I do this with celery. Every year, once a year, I try celery. I don't like it, and I say, celery, I will try you next year. Because some people love celery. Does nothing for me. So if golf's your celery, that's fine. But I'm telling you, every day you get older, you're getting closer to getting into golf. And it was a lot of fun the other day. Max Homa won $1.7 million for playing 4 days of golf. That's pretty good.
Better than I could do.
Well, yet. We'll take you. Isn't there one of those Top Golf things in Jersey? Or like a faux Top Golf?
Probably. I mean, I've dabbled.
Oh, sure has. That was the game of the night. The golf was really good. NBA had a couple good games. I want to talk about that. I think let's check off the baseball box. You know the people love that, BBD.
You sickos.
Mariner, yeah, what's with you guys? Baseball. Mariners bad guy, official label. Kevin Mather?
My head, it's been Mather. I guess I haven't heard someone say it.
Yeah, I don't
think
know.
it's Mather.
I think I went to school with a kid that the last name was Mather, so I guess that made me question it. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I mean, one of the worst. I was going to say press conferences, but wasn't a press conference.
Oh.
One of the worst Zoom. Actually, this is the worst Zoom with a Rotary Club of all time.
With a Rotary Club, yeah.
Yeah. If you have no idea, Kevin Mather, who I think is a president and like partial
President
owner,
of Ops and CEO. I believe his full title is President of Ops and CEO.
very high up with the Mariners, whatever you label it.
Executive.
He came out with it's still surreal. I mean, some of the quotes about player service time, he just comes out and talks about how they manipulate that. His quotes about the foreign players are the worst. He talks about
That's stuff that's like actually like offensive just culturally.
yeah, like not learning the language and you know, Iwakuma had a translator on the team who he says his salary. He's like, yeah, we paid that guy $75K a year. It's like, you're the Seattle Mariners.
That's the salary he's sick of paying.
You've got a starting pitcher that's going. Anyways, each quote.
It's one thing if that's like a not it's still wrong, but one thing if they're paying those guys like handsomely. It's not like he's getting an unreal salary.
Either way.
Yeah.
Either
it's
way.
still wrong.
Just each part of, I keep wanting to call it a press conference, gets worse and worse.
I struggled reading through transcripts and listening to bits and pieces. I struggled to come up with something he said that wasn't like grotesque.
Yeah.
Some of it is deep cut baseball labor stuff that you're not going to get on the surface, but
it's, so let's try to make some light of this situation. John Heyman tweeted that the video was taken off the internet, and everyone was like, dude, you can't actually believe the sentence you just said. It was taken, it was removed from the original post.
Removed.
If it's on the internet, it's on the internet. The one quote that everyone was like, is kind of comically making a joke around. He's like, yeah, people don't care that teams making that are worth $1 billion lost some money last year. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, that's it. And then everything else was awful. Ken Rosenthal wrote a really good article on it. This guy's also got some stuff from his past with some sexual harassment stuff. They had to pay off some women to like not sue them. It is everything that's bad with baseball. And I'm not going to lump in all of the owners because I think some people are doing this. This is a bad guy.
He's particularly bad.
This is a bad dude. And he's, whether it's the foreign player stuff, manipulating service time, there's some other stuff. I mean, making his employees park further away to sell more park. It was just unreal. It was like if you could draw up what's the worst press conference we could do at the local Rotary Club Zoom. He did it.
All
man.
this to impress the Rotary Club.
I don't get it.
Was it even?
I don't get it. I don't know what it even was.
Okay, I think it is the Rotary Club that's like near Seattle. I heard them mention at the
Bellevue.
beginning.
Bellevue.
I heard them mention at the beginning,
Yeah.
like his Minnesota years or whatever, and I was like, is it not even the local like Seattle one? It is. Based on my quick Google, could be wrong.
The whole thing is a disaster. And we need something to happen on it.
You put
By
out
the
a
way,
statement.
I was thinking about this morning. Has Mickey Callaway been officially fired yet?
I think they still have to like do the investigation.
Right.
They've like hired an interim coach. all
Okay.
that, but
So it's like happened, but still
it's
hasn't
because like
happened.
from the Angels' point of view.
Right. He denied it, and I
Yeah.
get that, but we're still. I don't know. I mean, they came
also,
out.
like people were people that like knew the people in baseball were saying that it was like the most open secret that he's just like creepy.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
So Angels, you're not like in the clear for this, but
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. The Mariners / this dude released a pretty lame PR statement saying,
as
sorry.
generic as it gets.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's just
Not
just
that
a
any statement
problem.
was going to be good.
No, but it's just a problem that you even think you can issue that plain Jane statement and that it's all going to be good.
Yeah, it's just
We're
over now.
cool. Like, no, man. It's a mess. It's bad for the sport.
Aside from the like stuff that's just like specifically bad guy stuff, and the service time stuff is gross and like affecting people's careers and
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
wonder why the two sides and the labor conversations come up. They distrust each other.
They talked about their first baseman, Evan White, I believe. He signed before playing any
Yeah.
Major League Baseball, they signed him to a contract, like 6
The
year.
buyout arbitration.
6
years
year,
and-
$24 million. So, it's less risk for the player, but it's also, if he's good, he's going to make a lot less money.
He doesn't maximize his value, but he gets a nice little guarantee.
He talked about Jared Kelenic and top prospect for them, kid's supposed to be special, and he said they tried to do the same thing, and he wouldn't do it, so they're basically going to keep him in the minors.
Yeah.
And he says all this
With
with
like the sarcastic, he said he wants to bet on himself, so he'll be starting the year in the minors.
he said all of this with such ease, and it's sad, and I am.
It was like there's no like reading between the lines. He's like said these things verbatim.
And I don't know what you do. I mean, I think you have to fire him, and I do think that will happen. And for me, and this sucks, and maybe it's at a lower level, but in my head, it's like, why do we need him in baseball?
Yeah.
Like, what's he done?
It's clear. I mean,
The Mariners have been trash. They have the longest playoff drought in the sport. So it's not like, oh, well, he's really good at his job. So, everyone makes mistakes. Hopefully he can figure it out and apologize and get better. Who cares? Like, either way, get this dude out because it's not working and he's a bad guy.
one thing you would understand if the team was like making excuses or like felt the need to keep him around because he's been so successful. That would at least be like follow the path of what these things end up being. But he's not been. If he's trying to see how long he's been with the Mariners since '96 in different roles. And he's only been team president, so like a high up role since 14. They've been terrible. So what's the point?
The other thing, the Seagers. He talks about Kyle Seager, who's a guy whose number is probably going to get retired for the Mariners. He's played there for a decade. He did say that in the thing. He also said it's his last year. Kyle Seager has a team option for next year. Kyle Seager's wife tweeted out, okay, should we get ready to move? Because the guy said this is probably Kyle Seager's last year, which there's some baseball and contract stuff that ties into that is whatever. Either way, you can't say that. And B, for me, that just spins into baseball has a problem. Baseball needs... You got to acknowledge your sport is different. Like, we need a... You know how for years, the trade thing was the 10-5 if you're with a team for 10... Or if you have 10 years, 5 years with the same team, you get a no trade clause. Like, they need some contract exemptions in baseball. Like, the Seattle Mariners should keep Kyle Seager on their team. And I know money gets tricky. If Kyle Seager wants to leave and go chase a championship because Seattle can't do that because of the people they have in charge, then he should be willing to do this. If he wants to be a part of Seattle, Seattle should want him, and we need to figure out a way to do that with these veteran players. That's kind of a separate issue. But
it's not necessarily an issue with this specific situation, and it's like they have a team option on the deal or whatever. Because in my brain immediately jumps to like, I don't know, you get like some sort of luxury tax benefit for like just keeping your guys around. But the luxury tax affects so few teams.
Yeah, Mariners aren't close to that.
Yeah, it's not the Mariners. And that's Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox, I guess Mets now. It's Steve Cohen's in charge.
That's the other problem.
Maybe Phillies, off the top of my head.
I don't think it'll come into play, but when CBA stuff happens, because I want to call it like the Lindor rule, that each team has like $25 million they can spend on a homegrown player to like keep them around, and it doesn't hurt their numbers. But would Cleveland have even done that? Not unless there's like a salary floor, and then if that doesn't count against the salary.
And is it just? Would it be like the NBA salary floor? Like, it doesn't matter because there's only so many spots you get there, whatever, and they have a hard cap. All that. I mean, if it's just going to be like the rest of the guys on the roster split the remainder, because that's technically how it works in the NBA,
right?
Like, then
Baseball's got. You got to
figure out the verbiage of everything.
Baseball's got some stuff to figure out after this season, and the players' union is going to use all of these quotes as. And hey, maybe
from their perspective, kind of the perfect timing, right before this season.
Maybe that's what's actually going to get this guy fired, is the fact that the owners
hate him now.
Know that we have to go to the negotiating table, and we can't have that guy on our side. That's probably what actually gets him fired. Outside of all the bad stuff and the quotes.
The stuff with him being like actually a bad dude, not just like an asshole in an executive role.
I'm over this guy. I don't want to talk about him anymore. Ian Desmond opts out. My Rockies are a mess. He never... A couple things happened here. Ian Desmond got a contract by the Rockies. His baseball performance wasn't living up to that contract. He's now opted out the past 2 seasons. COVID. Yeah. And if you remember, he had like a really passionate thing last year. He's like, I'm not risking that. I'll spend time with my family. And he's basically doing the same thing.
I assume he has like young kids and stuff. I guess I didn't actually.
Rockies fans were all pissed at him. And at the same time, they were pissed at him 2 years ago because he was making a lot of money and not performing. So now his money isn't even on your books. but people are still mad at him, and it's dumb fans, so I won't harp too hard on it. But
Yeah, he wasn't living up to the contract and all that. It doesn't really matter.
don't care.
Yeah, was he like the first guy to opt out last year when that?
He was
happening?
early. He was early.
If he wasn't first, he was among the first.
Yeah.
So that gets you a little bit of like the side eye for people. But by the end of it, like everyone got it.
Yeah.
Like everyone had like a guy that opted out.
In more exciting news.
It's like when everyone was mad at Rudy Gobert for being the first guy that
Right.
got COVID. It's like, oh well, everyone's got
Yeah.
it. So
No, I think Desmond's thing was. I know what
and
you're
it
saying.
was also
I think
tied
his was
to
more
Black Lives
yes.
Matter. And he does have like family stuff.
This
There's just a lot of factors. At
You know
play,
what?
And COVID's all part of it.
the people that are against this are idiots, so I'm not
Yeah.
going to give them the time.
He's forgoing the salary.
Position players report today. We like that. Go baseball. The COVID numbers for now are low. Let's see what happens. I think we're like a week away from spring training games. Sunday?
At least the Yankees, the first
Yankees
spring
are
training game
Sunday.
is Sunday. Can't speak for league wide.
It's pretty wild, huh? Baseball's happening. Should be down there right now. We're not.
Would have been.
We're not. Next time.
I was talking to somebody last week who's like, "Oh, when you guys going down to spring training?" And I was like, "Well, we're not."
Yeah.
And I was thinking about the calendar. I was like, "I guess we would be down there like tomorrow."
Yeah.
Whatever the day was that I talked to him.
This week would have been like our big week. Bobby Skinner texted me last night. You guys going to spring training? I said no. Said okay.
Yeah, I guess we haven't explicitly
Good talk.
said that on stuff.
Good talk, Bobby.
We're not going this year.
Yeah, I think there was always a little part of us that are like, maybe we will go down or something. I'm still debating going down for a weekend, just as family's from there,
Yeah.
so that's kind of a different thing. But no,
Just
not
do
this
a
year.
weekend
Play
trip
it safe.
somewhere.
We'll get it next year. That's kind of the baseball for now. It is kind of nervous. So I feel like a lot of the baseball news isn't going to be exciting. There's a couple signings. Odorizzi,
There's signings to
Taiwan
happen.
Walker signed with the Mets. That kind of got swept under the rug a little bit. That's like a whole
So
thing.
both sides, I think, are pretty happy with that deal.
So where's Odo going to go? Jays, Red Sox,
Jays could still use a
Angels,
guy. Angels, please.
Angels,
Please.
Angels. They got to. They have to. Rules are rules.
Yeah.
They got
They
to.
have. They're nowhere. I'm trying to. Yeah, they have like 20 mil in space if
Perfect.
they're worried about the luxury tax, closer to 21 mil.
Perfect. Give Odorizzi 14 for 3.
Yeah.
Done.
It's like
I just signed
three
him.
for 45. Done. Just do it.
That's the baseball. It is going to be weird news. There's going to be a lot of injury updates for a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll be excited.
Did somebody just get hurt? Real Muto had the thumb thing.
Real Muto with
Thought
the
there was
thumb.
another one. Oh well, not trying to
A little over
go
a
to
month, yeah.
injuries.
5-6 weeks, we'll be getting the real deal, and you guys know we'll be all over that. The football, Eagles released Deshaun Jackson. Wow. Crazy what he's done in the NFL, huh?
Biggest like home run threat on a football field.
J.J. Watt was released. Not sure if we talked about that. A lot of people are thinking Steelers because both of his brothers on there.
Yeah.
Or the Packers. There's a ton of Packers rumors. I don't know why.
Who's
Just because that's cool, I guess.
there's like a contingent of people that think Bills because they're fun now.
Sure.
Kind of fits the branding.
Where are the Watts from? Oh, that's why Green Bay. They're all Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Gotcha. So that's something.
Steelers would be the most fun with the brothers.
Yeah, you kind of got to. Steelers, Watt Bros. And last time we talked to you, what's his name just got traded? Wentz. It was snow day. How about that?
Yeah.
Feels a long time ago.
Yeah.
Days move quick, man.
That was our first. I guess we were going to do an episode that day anyway, but because we pushed to the late afternoon, it was like kind of our first breaking news.
Yeah.
Wake and Jake, which was
Breaking
fun.
news, Wake and Jake. Maybe we'll do an Odo one. We'll see. BBD, let's do the basketball because basketball's actually had a hot in the streets weekend. The Nets, talking Nets, they've been hot in the street. They live hot in the street. They did they sweep their West Coast trip? Is that what you said?
Believe so. I heard in Pat. If not sweep, they had a very, very good West Coast trip.
Yeah. Dude, they Kyrie and Harden are gross, man.
Yeah, they're good.
They did this without KD, by the way. The Nets are real. I think we've been tiptoeing doing this, or I've been doing this, so I don't want to pretend like I'm throwing other people under the bus, but everyone jumps to the Miami Heat. That first year, LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, not 1, not 2, not 3, and then they got bounced. I don't know, man. I think the East is weak. I think these guys are gross. Like it might be Nets season.
Yeah, I mean, if they'd probably be my pick to come out of the East at this point. The Celtics feel like they've taken a big step back. They're 500 right now. The Bucks got to kind of do it before I believe them. The Sixers are good, but they're in the same boat. It's like once we get to the playoffs is when we're going to really find out if you're different.
Nets are the 2 seed in the East right now. Half game back of the Sixers.
Really good. Jeff Green got hurt at the end of the game. He's been really good for them.
Nets have won 6 straight.
Yeah. They beat Warriors, beat Kings.
The Nets are happening,
Suns,
man.
Lakers, Clippers.
DeAndre Jordan with the game-winning tip-in the other day? Like that.
Yeah, last night. It was a really cool play. I'll try to get it on the screen.
Yeah,
but
don't hurt yourself like Jeff
is.
Green did.
He didn't hurt himself. Pat Bev took kind of a cheap shot.
Ooh.
There's some beef. So this is it. Kyrie kind of goes to take the 2016 finals shot. It's a tie game. And then DeAndre Jordan over whoever it was. I think it was Paul George. Tip in. Pretty
Love
cool.
that.
And DeAndre Jordan's caught the ire of many a Net fan just because like age is catching up to him. He isn't what he was. But he's like stepped up, especially since KD's been out. But then last night, Jeff Green goes down. He gets kind of thrust into the last minute. It's the winning shot.
DeAndre Jordan, Knicks, great.
Yeah.
Was passing a lot on the Knicks. That was a lot of fun. He was racking up assists. I'm in on the Nets. I wasn't. They're doing this without KD.
It's the most scoring ability that's ever been assembled.
Be real, and I think I'm okay with the narrative on Harden changing.
Yeah.
Like, we looked at those Houston teams, and I don't know, we kind of didn't give Harden a lot of love. Everyone's like, I don't like the way he plays basketball. He tries to draw fouls. I think we're going to look back and be like, wait, Harden was playing with Eric Gordon and PJ
Gordon
Tucker?
was like his most
very nice basketball players. Very nice NBA careers. But think about what we're talking about right now. LeBron's with Anthony Davis. Kawhi and Paul George. Now the Nets with KD, Kyrie,
Yeah, at the
Harden.
Chris Paul years, it's like those were the years that they should have won one.
Right, but they could have. They were going to.
Those Warriors teams.
They had them beat.
Yeah.
Paul got hurt, and then Clay had the third quarter from hell, right?
Yeah,
if I'm remembering
had
that right.
Like 0 for 20 as a team.
Yeah, that final game.
Yeah.
So
that was the year if it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Stinks.
Don't be shocked if the Harden narrative turns a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm in on
nicer in hindsight.
In on the Nets. It'll be interesting to see who they run into that really gives them the business. Is it the Sixers? Is it the Bucks? Is it the New York Knicks? BBD, there was a lot of other fun stuff around the NBA. The Celtics and Pelicans played a really fun game the other day. It goes into overtime. Pels were getting rolled by the Celtics a little bit, and then they went nuts. I think they went on like a 42-15 run. Those numbers aren't right. I can confirm those aren't right.
Some big swing.
But it did end with a Melly three-pointer, and there's a gross picture of him yelling. He did the It was really good. I might have to track that down. And this is the JJ ejection, right? Or was that 2 games ago? No, this was the JJ ejection. If you haven't seen it, you might even get a breakdown on it. JJ Redick, a foul gets called. He gets fouled driving in the lane. So he's there's a bunch of people between him and the ref. So he does a kind of a spin pass around the guys to get the ball to the ref. The pass bounced a little close to the ref, so it like hit him in the knee. Ref tossed him. Ref tossed him. It's one of the softest ejections I think the NBA has had.
I think there might be a breakdown coming.
Brandon
Heard some
Ingram.
chatter.
Brandon Ingram is the truth, 33 points. He got going. Zion, I think he had 4 points in the first half, and it was like his lowest half as a pro this year or maybe ever. And he turned it on in the second half. I love Zion, Team Zion. Josh Hart seems like he always has a good game. And the Celtics, man. Oh, did you see where Zion threw Tristan Thompson?
No.
He didn't throw him. It was fourth quarter coming down the stretch. They passed it into Zion, and he just did like a post move. But he like launched Tristan Thompson. And it's one of those I think you need to actually think about who Tristan Thompson is. He's probably like one of the thickest old school centers in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
Like, he is an NBA center. And there's not a lot of those left. Celtics are 15-15. Yikes. Like, stuff might be going down in Celtics land soon. If they don't turn it around, whoo! And then, what was I going to jump to? Something related to the Celtics. Oh, BBD, I don't think it's on here, and it's not a critique at either of us. I think the other big NBA highlight from this weekend was the Hornets-Warriors. Draymond. And I'd love to hear what you thought, BBD. If you don't know, there was a jump ball. They do it at midcourt. Gets tipped around. Gordon Hayward snags it. Draymond locks him up. Looks like it should have been a jump ball. They gave Gordon Hayward the timeout. There's 9 seconds left. Warriors were up 2. Draymond snaps. He goes nuts on the ref. Gets double technical. 2 free throws. So the Hornets tie it up with the free throws. Their ball. Terry Rozier, which I was tying back to the Celtics. Game winner. It was a cool game winner.
Yeah.
It was a cool game winner.
I saw that shot.
It's the game winner you want to take in your driveway, but it doesn't go in. Like fading away.
You take like 6 tries at it.
Yeah, wrong side of going the wrong direction, fading away. And it was a whole thing. Steve Kerr handled it decently. He said, Draymond can't do that. Even if you don't agree with that call, which was kind of a crap call at that point of the game. You still just can't do that. You can't give them 2 free throws. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
How about that? And Terry Rozier playing pretty good basketball.
It's been a lot better.
How about that?
Rozier
the Hornets.
And Randall were probably going into the season considered the 2 worst contracts given out last offseason.
Yeah.
Both of them look fine.
Both of them. Isn't that?
Randall's like a no-brainer.
And
They're picking
Hayward,
up that option.
Hayward
Rozier.
was supposedly the worst this year. And now they're doing things for the Hornets. So there's a little Hornets deep dive. What else do we got on here? Your Magic are starting to roll. Raptors beat the Sixers. Raptors are coming back, huh? They had a slow start.
They're 16 and
they're
15 now.
They're looking a lot better. Siakam, Van Vliet, Boucher from Oregon. Big guy making buckets. Nuggets, Hawks. My guy Facundo Campazzo had a day. I don't know. Anything else, BBD? What needs to be said?
I think we'll probably cover it when we get to game of the night. Or bro of the night.
Bro of the night. All right.
We'll cover my other basketball topic.
Well, let's tie it off, BBD, where we go to the comment of the day. I ask you, the bakers, leave a comment, leave a review, leave a like. It all helps. We bake the algorithm. It's what we do. That's why you're bakers. We bake.
If we're not there already, we're so close to 1,000 subs. So just
BBD,
do it now while you're thinking about it.
We are at 1,000 subs.
Bang. If you haven't, feel free to hit the button still. But
Push the button. So thank you guys. It's pretty cool. We're at a point with John Boy Media where this is the 3rd show on this channel. Something like that. I think we missed one.
Yeah. Something.
So the fact that we could do 3 of these and we've got 1K on here, next is 10. Let's keep grinding. Thank you guys. We like sports. We like being silly. You guys are the best. BBD, some of the best comments from last episode on the YouTube. I see Jake's hair is still being combed with a firecracker. Yeah. Almost got a haircut yesterday.
I think I would have done it this weekend if not for the Gardner thing, because I was thinking about it Friday. And I know I need to do one before the season, but if I do one now, then I can enough will grow that I can do it again, like right when the season
Yeah.
starts.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that debate too. Like, do I just ride this until opening day? Do I give myself a little buffer? I wait for the first game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You've
We'll
been
see.
going a while between your last few
Hair's crazy.
haircuts.
Yeah.
So you've only had like 2 since the start of 2020, right?
I've had one haircut since last spring training.
Yeah.
So that's kind of weird. I need to do better with that.
I don't know how it feels on your head. I'd probably wait till the season.
Yeah, we'll see. I was close this weekend.
If you're feeling the need, make yourself feel beautiful.
The other comment I liked a lot was Dread Pirate Ryan said, "We need like diagrams of every batter stance. That would be such a fun tool to play with." Yes! And that brings me, last episode, if you don't know, we talked about this. We tried to find Alex Bregman's batting stance, and it was near impossible to find.
Yeah, there isn't just like a straight up picture on Google.
MVP candidate, Houston Astros, Alex Bregman, and it was tough to find his batting stance. Like, we need that. That would be so much fun. Like, BBD, you say, your eyes lit up. Like, there's a point in your life where if you're a young baseball fan, you would live on that site.
Yeah.
Like, you would play wiffle ball and do
Make
it.
that easy.
That would be a game.
That was my whole childhood. As I knew because I watched every Yankee game. It was like I knew everyone's stance.
You're
And
playing.
that's how I played wiffle ball. with
You're
my
playing wiffle ball. You do a random stance, and then you got to use that stance. That's it.
Yeah. It would be the way it worked at my house. You could do 1-on-1 basically, and then so like each batter would be a different guy in the Yankee lineup. Not to brag, could switch hitting wiffle ball a little bit.
Whoa. Whoa, bragging,
So
BBD.
it was fun.
And then Jack Z left a nice message that was some serious Eagles Wentz stuff. They're excited about Hurts, think that the front office Wentz relationship broke, and that's what happened. And he thinks that Wentz will still be good with Reich. So how about that? Eagles fans checking in. Thank you guys. Leave a comment. Again, we like sports. We like being silly. Leave the comments there. Everything helps. You guys are the best. BBD, this brings us to the bro of the night. The bro of the night goes out to award. There's been lady bros. There's been bros of the night. It goes out to someone from the night before that had a performance that needs to be talked about. If we didn't do the golf, mine probably would have been Max Homa or Tony Finau, Sam Burns. We did all that. BBD, I'm going a little bit off the board because I mentioned NBA's hot in the streets. This is a hot topic. The Knicks beat the T-Wolves last night because the Knicks are coming for the East. And the T-Wolves fired their head coach, Saunders, Flip Saunders' kid. It looks really young. That's not a shot at him. We're young-looking people. He gets fired, and it is what it is.
People say he legitimately has not been a good coach. Like he's gonna get fired at some point.
And by the way, T-Wolves, low-key, one of the worst franchises in sports.
Yeah.
Go check out the numbers. T-Wolves have kind of stunk. Anyways.
They're Tibbs year.
Exactly. That's like the outlier. They fire their head coach. Fine. This happens in the NBA. It's a business. Sure. The part that's weird. They hired a head coach, Chris Finch, who was an assistant coach on the Raptors.
Yesterday.
So they've clearly had this lined up, which A is kind of messed up to Saunders. And then B, let's say Chris Finch is the guy. And hey, maybe he is. Maybe Chris Finch saves the T-Wolves, and I'm the idiot. I'll bet against it as of now. They didn't have an interim coach, which had, I guess normally you'd shrug at. If it was a big name, I guess we wouldn't be mad, but it's Toronto Raptors assistant coach Chris Finch.
I'm trying to remember if there's like a big name, like former coach that is a free agent right now. It's like, they signed him off the street. Like D'Antoni's a Nets assistant, but like if he wasn't, it's like, and we're hiring D'Antoni.
I'm sure there's something that we would flinch less at, but I think the thing that NBA Twitter started going on this is that they have an assistant coach, David Vanterpool, who I think he was with the Blazers. I think he was a big part of Lillard and McCollum's success. And they kind of went off on Twitter, and they were like, why? You guys had a dude on the bench. Like, give him a shot. And building on that, why not make him the interim and find out? I don't think
you can make your decision.
I don't think another team was going to come in and snag Chris Finch off the Raptors bench this year. I could be wrong.
During the season?
Before
you were going to have the chance to talk to him again.
Let's track when the next NBA coach gets fired. And then, Celtics. No. I like Brad Stevens.
He gets to.
I like Brad Stevens.
Gets to finish the year.
But you could have found out. Maybe David Vanderpool is an 11 out of 10 coach, and that's why Damian Lillard, one of the NBA's star of stars, is going off on Twitter about him. And I'm sure Chris Finch would have been there. So I don't know. The whole thing kind of messed up. So I think the whole thing is a bruh at the T-Wolves, I guess.
I think so. And, like, if there's a day for it to happen, the Knicks, in theory, are good this year.
In theory.
And they almost came back from a 21-point third-quarter deficit against them. And that's the night it all happens. Like, because you clearly had this lined up.
Team fought till the end. Yeah, it's really weird. So that's it's a bruh of the night.
Yeah.
BBD?
Nothing against Chris Finch.
Nothing against Chris Finch. I'm not going to wish him ill will, but it just doesn't make sense.
We were doing this pre-show a little bit, but for the people, it's like it's pretty rare that we see people just like given the job outright, like immediately after the coach is fired anyway.
Yeah.
And if they are, it's like they were already the assistant there and they promoted them to full-time head coach immediately. But they were in the organization. I don't believe has happened in season before. There's been like sudden coaching changes where like a guy's like left. Pat Riley left the Knicks via fax.
I'm talking Giants. I'm assuming Bobby is in the chat right now. Said, they got their guy. Yeah, man. I don't know. Maybe they did. And then we could say, well, those T-Wolves had it right the whole time, but haven't had to say that sentence in 20 years.
The T-Wolves don't have the benefit of the doubt. And it's a thing that people haven't done before. You could have
waited 2 weeks. You could have waited 2 months. Finch. I don't know.
Like usually we know.
Go win the damn title.
Who the hot assistant that you think is going to get the next gig is. And I haven't heard Chris Finch's name before. Not that I'm the most locked into it. But usually,
It's just weird.
Yeah.
Have the other guy interim. Maybe the team gets hot for 2 weeks. Maybe they're terrible. And then it's... we found our guy. They're just really weird. BBD, who's your
whole thing's
brother?
weird, and they don't need to win right now. Very weird.
Another bad franchise.
My bro of the night. We did the Kevin Mather thing, so... Otherwise, he's an obvious bruh candidate as well. We didn't get to discuss this because it happened, I believe, Friday night. Jamal Murray put up 50 without a free throw.
Wow.
It's I believe the first time anyone's ever had a 50-point game, no free throws. And with the way he plays, that's kind of surprising.
21 of 25.
Yeah, 21 for 25, 8 of 10 from 3. Which is really good. He hasn't been what he was in the bubble this year. He still took another step forward. In the bubble, he went to a new level.
Yeah.
But the Nuggets were a team that kind of benefited from the bubble environment. The Heat were kind of a team that benefited from that. He's been good this year.
21 of 25.
50 points, 21 of 25 from the field. 8 of 10 from 3.
If we do lefty layups on a regulation hoop, 25 layups.
Unguarded.
What are you doing?
I feel pretty confident in my lefty layup ability, but I think I'm still not going more than 15 to 25 because I'm not good.
Yeah.
I just can hit them at not an embarrassing rate. I think I'm still going 15 of 25.
Yeah, I think I get
Unguarded.
close to 20.
The best I can turn in, I think 20.
And he was playing NBA basketball, so shout out Jamal Murray, my Nuggets. He's good. I like him. He's still younger than you think, or do I need to stop saying that? How old do you think Jamal Murray is? I'd say 22. Or 24, excuse me.
I would I was gonna throw 25 out there.
Okay.
He's
Jamal,
oh my God.
23. February 23rd. So
really,
tomorrow.
In my brain, I have no idea like what year he was drafted.
DVD, we're in a weird birthday cycle. He turns 24 tomorrow.
Yeah.
How about that?
We've had a few birthday things pop up.
Yeah. How about that? Wake and Jake birthday stuff.
It was someone's birthday last week. We had the Hiroki Kuroda birthday on Talking Yanks the week before.
Like the start. So let's try to put this in better terms. The start of the 2022 NBA season. Start of the 2022 NBA season. Jamal Murray is going to be 24. I thought that was going to be cooler. Start of 2023, Jamal Murray will be 25. Which, like, that's supposed to be a dude's prime.
And right now is his 5th year.
Yeah.
He's 23.
Been around, man. He's gonna be good. He gets better every year. How about that? That's some class analysis, Jake. Oh, and he screamed at himself the rest of the episode. BBD, let's wrap it up.
2016 draft. It like doesn't make sense in my brain.
I think he was like one of those youngest guys in the draft
guy.
type deal, yeah. So when you start thinking about that, like how old's Obi Toppin? Is Obi 23?
Or
Or 22?
Close. He was drafted at 22. He turns 23 in like a week and a half.
So Jamal Murray
March
is
4th. Happy birthday, Obi.
Jamal Murray is a year older than Obi Toppin. How about that? Quick math. BBD, we got to wrap it up. What are we watching? What's coming up? I see you got a couple NBA
Grabbed a
games
couple
on
NBA
here.
games.
Yeah.
Mavs Grizzlies tonight. It's on. The Grizzlies are a really fun watch.
Yeah.
Morant and Doncic and
Tim's Grizz.
similar record. Blazers and Nuggets tomorrow, I believe, is national. So
Okay.
you can watch that wherever you are. First Nick game with fans is tomorrow night.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So
That'll
not to
be
the
fun.
homer pick, but
Yeah.
that is the game I will be watching anyway. First
Is
game
it
at the Garden with fans.
2,000 fans in MSG? Something like that.
Something like that. It's whatever. It's I think that 10% is, I assume, the number. Maybe not. Crossing Yankees and
Yeah.
but it's first event in New York with that.
Warriors, Knicks, Celts, Mavs are on TNT. Man,
Nets also have a home game, so I assume
Hey.
they have fans there too.
I'll say this.
Assume same rules.
Celtics, Mavericks. If Luka puts on a show and maybe they embarrass the Celtics at that party
night.
and the Celtics drop below 500, things are going to get loud in the
Especially
Commonwealth.
Mavs on the second night of a back-to-back there.
So we'll see. Maybe the Celtics turn it on. Changes their whole season. Bucks,
Rooting for the
T-Wolves.
Celtics that night.
Bucks, T-Wolves, don't
Hot
watch
take.
that. Ooh, Trailblazers, Nuggets, late night. All right, everybody. Bakers, thank you so much. 1K on the channel. That's very cool. Very cool. You guys are the best. Share with a friend. Bake the algorithm. John Boy Media. Talking Giants with a new ep while being in the chat. Talking Nets is rolling. They're having good times. Pinstripe Strong. Big interview with Luis Severino. That's awesome. Talking baseball coming up. We're recording Talking Yanks in a little bit. Okay. Okay, I like that.
TPP today for baseball.
There was-
PPPs every day for
I think there was a Friday Talking Knicks. We'll have another one coming up with that. GM file. You guys know the deal. We've got content. It's what we do. So much. Thank you. Bake the
Mansplaining girls
algorithm.
are always doing stuff.
Mansplain. I think they've mansplained hockey, sports.
Jake sucks.